One of the issues we had to face with the introduction of the Australian curriculum was our concerns around just how much content driven it seemed to be. And teachers were asking, how on earth can we fit this in to the year levels that we're teaching? Were we going to have to forgo all the work that we've been doing on what we knew was effective teaching and learning, the how of the curriculum? So the question became for us, how are we going to manage what we knew to be best practice with teaching and learning with what seemed to be the content-driven requirements of the new curriculum?
During 2012, there have been significant resources given to our schools to give teachers and leaders time to get to know and work with the Australian curriculum. And as you've been doing that, as teachers have been engaging with the curriculum, clearly some challenges have emerged. It's kind of tough getting to know a new learning area, the content, the achievement standards, how it's structured, how it's organised, and planning across year levels presents a real challenge for a number of teachers. So in listening to these issues and challenges that you've been telling us about, we've been busy working with a number of experts across the field to figure out how we can better support you in this work. We've worked with Martin Westwell to develop this resource that's coming to you now, so we can deeply understand the nature of the learning area, what its big ideas are, and the key concepts that are really going to be crucial to every child being successful and achieving their best.
Engaging our students in rich learning is really important because we know that intellectual stretch is one of the things that we're really after in our classrooms. So when we're thinking about how we work with our learners, how we want our students to learn, do we want them just to be able to recall abstract theorems like Pythagoras' theorem, or do we want them to really understand the role that right angles play in strengthening structures? There's a fundamental difference in that type of learning. So in South Australia, with the advent of the Australian curriculum, this gave us a great opportunity to really think about how we engage our students in learning. Because we know from the research that how we work with our kids, how we intellectually stretch them, how we get them doing the thinking, how we personalise and connect the curriculum, and really focus on developing them as expert learners as well as what we want them to learn. This was a great opportunity to bring together the SA TEFL and the Australian curriculum. So in South Australia, when we started working with the Australian curriculum and using the TEFL to bring together the what and how of our kids' learning, what we did was develop a thinking map called Learning Design, and really that was a series of questions that would help teachers come together and think about what it is that we really want our kids to learn and how we're going to go about designing the learning for that. And interestingly, the first step of that, where it asks the questions, what do we really want our kids to learn? When you ask that question, that's actually much more challenging than it seems at first. When you think about those big enduring concepts, those big ideas that increase in complexity over time through the Australian curriculum, sometimes it's difficult to work out what they are and not just think about the curriculum as a bunch of disconnected stuff to cover with our kids. So Box 1 is quite challenging, and this resource in fact is very much about helping people unpack what is it we really want our kids to learn, what is it about each of the learning areas and the discipline within those learning areas, the disciplinary way of thinking and understanding the world in which we live. What does it mean to be a mathematician or a scientist or a historian, and to put those lenses off and on as we're making sense of our world. That's what we're really exploring in this resource.